Hello and welcome to this presentation on the new category system for B1 Usability Package 6. My name is Rasmus Wolf Jensen and I will be leading you through this session. So here we are in Business 1, and in this particular demo database I've made a user-defined field called MyID. I put it onto the main screen. I've added a button here that should do something, launch reports based on what that ID is. The field is mandatory as well, so if I try to update, it's mandatory. And I made furthermore a configuration in here that says it can only be up to 10 characters long. If it's not 10 characters long, it's not allowed. So in general, a bunch of configurations for MyID. And with the new 6.0, we can see the configuration overview, so it's a bit easier to have a look at all these configurations. But again, if I had multiple configurations of other types as well, I would end up losing what of all these different configurations are actually tied together into this MyID. And this is where the new category system come into play. So if we go to usability package and into configuration here, we will see configure categories, which is a new item. In here I can create categories of multiple configurations, and I can then get an overview based on that configuration. So in my case I had something with MyID, so let's make a MyID category. We can make a description about it if you want to, but let's just leave it be as this. So I now have a category, but in the overview of that category, there's not really anything right now. But I can now assign these categories to my different configurations. So for example, my item placement tool, I can here take and say this item placement tool is part of the MyID category. In this case, I actually don't want to do it on header level here, because I also have a few other things here. So I can actually also do it line by line. So I can say this one move of an item is actually linked to the My category. Up here in function buttons, I can do something similar. I can either do it on header or line level. In this case, let me do it on header. I have a validation, which was also a part of this category, and it was also mandatory. And in this case, I will do it on line level. So by doing this, I can now group my different configurations into feature-specific categories of data. And then I can go to my category again, or I can do the configuration overview and choose simply my category in here. So if it spanned multiple form types, I could get data. If it was only to specific users. So in this way I can do categories. Again, I can also go here, see my categories based on what type of features I have in here. So I get an overview of feature specific functions, and what will happen later on is that you can then export only what you have in a specific category out into a specific feature, so you can actually package up a feature and not only configuration by configuration. But so far you can get these overviews by making your categories into the product. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation on the new category system in 6.0, and thank you for attending.